All right, how's it going, kitty cats? How's it going? It has been 2 months since I flew to Hawaii to a cabin that I bought that I found on Zillow, which I'd never seen before. And tomorrow, I'm gonna be picking a friend up that's gonna be staying with me for a little bit, and then my family's gonna come and visit. So basically, I'm going from 2 months. Uh, it's a good time to kind of think about it and try and articulate kind of some of the things I've learned and what it was like. Yeah, because my solo experiment will end tomorrow. I'm excited, actually. I'm excited to have visitors and stuff. So it started out, I flew here not really knowing exactly what to do. I don't know. It was kind of a little bit of a crazy time. Yeah, so I just kind of was like, I'm going to book a ticket. I'm going to go because it was kind of slow. You know, you're caught up in the uh, flow of your current life and your current role, you know, and all that sort of stuff. It's hard to break away from that, but I did, with no real expectations. I didn't know if I was going to go for 2 weeks or what I was going to do, but at this point, I'm really enjoying it. I started out um, where I had to quarantine, so I came here and I had to quarantine in this cabin for 2 weeks by myself. Now the cabin wasn't really set up. I did have my friend Abram, who lives here on the Big Island. He had helped me get as many things ready as possible, but it's really hard to imagine, at least for me, you know, what that was going to be like. And, you know, it was great. I mean, I had very little um, internet. I think I had 2 bars, which was actually wonderful. I sort of accidentally and then purposefully went on a media fast, you know. I wouldn't say totally 100%, but just in general. This is November 2020. I don't know, man. I just, you know, like, of course, you know, I go on social media because I do like to see people on there. And a lot of times I wouldn't even do that, just post pictures and stuff. But I would see there's some moment, there's some sort of stress thing going on in the culture. And I kind of missed out on that, which I'm really, really glad about. I was able to sort of live my own mini Walden Pond kind of moment. And it's intense, man. This place is magical. So let's see. It's hard to explain. I'm trying to reflect on it and stuff. But yeah. So at first I was in the cabin all the time, basically by myself. My friend Abram would come by, you know, every couple days, and I'd sneak down the highway sometimes and drive. I bought a car off of Craigslist before I got here, a BMW X5, which for the most part has been great. You know, she's kind of a little bit of a bitch sometimes, which is X5, but great car. But so first 2 weeks by myself, it was a little bit difficult at times. You know, you kind of go to certain places in your head because I think we live sort of nullified by our habit. Like now I sort of have a habit here and I sort of ground myself. When you take yourself out of your routine and your purpose, you know, like, I don't know, there's a moment there's some difficulty. And of course it's different here, you know. Wow, so beautiful. I'm up on this wall. This is kind of like the wall that I kind of do. So I leaned into all the crazy, weird shit that you do these days, you know. I did a 5-day fast after I did the 2-week quarantine, which is sort of like I don't know, sort of Hawaiian redneck Vipassana in a sense, you know, for me. And then I met a really cool, crazy brother named Demo from Iran, and got to roll around a little bit, exploring the island, spending a lot of time using muscles that I wasn't really using in Key West, even though I sort of had an active lifestyle there. Nothing compared to here. So yeah, definitely spent a lot of time learning a new, crazy, very, very beautiful ecosystem. You know, this is like one of the youngest places on the planet, geographically. And it was also one of the last to be populated, too. It was only populated by humans 1,500 years ago. So yeah, definitely a lot. Hawaii as a place has a lot of lessons to impart on it. I dig Hawaii. I think that, I'm weird. Like I've been, I was in this remote, not remote, but in this off-grid cabin, so I had very little stuff. So I ended up kind of like bathing in a bucket with cold water, which, whatever, man, just call it like some Joe Rogan like cold water therapy. I enjoyed the fuck out of it. I enjoyed the simplicity of this life, just like, oh, it's dark, go to sleep, wake up, look at the stars, hike. I mean, the car broke down for a while, so I was just walking everywhere, which was like made me really appreciate that car. There's some amazing free diving around here. I hesitate to use the word free diving because I actually do like the surface, and a lot of times I'll stay there. I do hold my breath. My breath holds relatively short here. I think I'm just sort of still enamored with it. But it's a beautiful Zen-like approach to being underwater. I can stay under a minute and a half easily, like relatively easily. At that point, I dive right back up to the surface and breathe. So lots of that, which is really, really good, really, really fun. Swimming with dolphins, which, man, I ran a lot of dolphin tours, and I always, in some ways, kind of recognized how special of creatures they are. But I think if you try, if you try to be perceptive and respectful, you can realize that, okay, wow, so they have been around in their current form for 70 million years, and everything we know about neuroscience shows that their neocortex is highly developed, which is where we have reasoning and empathy. And so, I don't know, man. Is it great? Yeah, it's great to hold your breath mid-water and share space with an incredibly wise being that's not a human. So yeah, definitely, like, I got into all that crazy shit, and very good, very good. It's a beautiful lesson that I've gotten from this space. I got two crazy cats, maybe three. They're just feral cats. I don't know. They won't let me pet them, but but I've been feeding them, and we're not even feeding them. They eat with me, kind of like, that's different than having a house cat. I've learned a lot from that, and it's been company. And I really wanted to raise chickens, but I'm just not in that position to do that right now. But I did just go and buy some chicken food. I'm just like, fuck it. I don't know. Like, I'll buy eggs at the store. I'll buy a rotisserie chicken, at Costco still and stuff like that. But I don't know. I got 7 or 8 chickens that they look at me now as a food source, and I like that. It's good. It's good to have friends. It's good to have like that relationship. Yeah, man, the Big Island's cool, man. The weather is beautiful in Ocean View. There's a lot of recreational activity here. Just right near the house, man. Incredible mountain biking, incredible hiking, incredible free diving. There's surfing either an hour and a half away in Kona at Pine Tree, or in this other spot. It was about 35 minutes from here. That's a little bit more of a sketchy spot. I'm not a big surfer at that point, so that's not something I've really been dealing with. But yeah, it's nice that that's there. So just really, to measure compared to Key West, which Key West has a lot of cultural stuff going on, and I do, have a great love for that little island. This island just has a lot more sort of outdoor activities. I like that I have a really nice mountain bike ride near my house. I like that I got a great, super badass hike down to this beautiful beach that I can go to that has columns and 50 foot of water, and some wave action, really, really nice underwater shit. Or I can drive 45 minutes to another, really nice reef area. There's a number of remote beaches that you can either hike or four-wheel drive to, and the arduousness of the hike or of the four-wheeling depends on each one. They all have a little bit much. I mean, But I don't know. Yeah, so it's great. I mean, and yeah, farmers markets, the shit. I don't know. Great vegetables. I'm pretty simple, man. I don't eat that much. I eat like a couple of cans of sardines, and some cabbage and eggs during the day, and just a little something at night. You know, like I still do that. Like most of that low carb shit. I just get most of my stuff from the farmers market, which is great. You know, it's yeah. So relatively, I think that there's an inexpensive life to be had here. As far as making money, yeah, I don't know. I haven't really looked into that right now because I have other shit I gotta go through. You know, like there's whatever. But yeah, I've lived in a lot of different places, man. I've lived in like Thailand and Mexico and El Salvador and Alaska. And this actually kind of reminds me of Alaska. I'll just say, still, my thing is this is like a tropical Alaska. Like the Big Island is remote. It's kind of very working class, and yeah, a lot of people are just doing their shit. You know, they're making it's a real artisanal culture here where people are kind of making weird shit. You know, like tie dyes or whatever. I don't know. You know, just something homemade stuff, homesteading stuff, which I dig, man. I dig that. I've been building. I wasn't really a big builder, but I've been inspired to, you know, make different shit, and I've been having fun with that. And I feel like whenever I get something done, which always takes 10 times longer than I needed, than I thought it was gonna be, well, then it's done, you know. And it's kind of a different way of accumulation of labor than really when mostly I've been for a long time just working, basically entertaining and servicing like tourists, and then they give me a little bit of money and then I spend that shit somehow. But this is kind of like, oh, I did that. Oh, it's still done. I don't know. It's kind of fun. So yeah, I'm looking forward to my buddy getting here tomorrow and exploring more of the island and all that. He's actually my friend Tom. He actually is the one that introduced me to the Big Island, and yeah, I freaking love it. So that's it. 2 months in a cabin, relatively by yourself in Big Island, Hawaii. 5 stars, 2 thumbs up, whatever. I'm gonna keep it. I gotta go back to Key West at some point and make some money for a little bit, but I'll definitely be back here. I dig it, man. All right, yeah, there's that. Okay, peace out, you guys. What? That's how they do that, like that. All right, shaka.